But let's go out to the Western Exterminator Hotline. What a night it was at the Honda Center this past Saturday night. I think my ears have finally stopped ringing since I sat directly in front of the band. The head coach for the men's basketball team at San Diego State is Steve Fisher, and he joins us on Double X 1090. Hello, Coach Dave and Jeff. How are you, buddy?
Gentlemen, I'm doing fine, thank you.
Coach, I tell you what a night that was for me as a 30-year fan of the Aztecs to be up there. The thing that surprised me was just how vocal that building was for your team. How big an impact could that have played?
Well, I was amazed, but I was not surprised.
Yeah.
When I was told how many tickets we had sold, I knew we were going to have by far the more vocal crowd, and we did, and it had an impact. And if you read the paper, what Ben Howland said, some of his players said, they mentioned it. Ben talked, he said, I've never had a team wearing white be the visiting team. And the players talked about how difficult it was to play and their amazement at how great our fans were. So it was terrific.
Coach, how great is that as far as working it for a recruiting tool down the road, as far as saying, look, our fan base will travel, our fan base is great. The show, it's impossible to get a ticket to the game. How important is it for kids to play in front of a sold-out arena?
It speaks volumes for the state of the program and for how our people are aware of the fact that we're good and want to be a part of it. And when you have a game on national TV like that was, and you have an announcer, Sean Farnham did the color on the game. He played at UCLA, and he marveled at our fans and how great they were, what they did, the way they did it, the show, and everybody else. And you pan that arena, and it looked like a home game.
Bill Dyer writes for the LA Times, Coach, and yesterday he had a column. Bill was there Saturday night, and I don't know, I took it like he almost looked down his nose at San Diego State, where he said, it was so loud, and yes, their fans travel well, but this is San Diego State. They don't have the history that UCLA has, and we all know that. We all respect what Coach Wooden's amazing run was all about. You feel like your program, there's still a couple of naysayers out there, or for the majority of people come around and are enjoying what you're doing on the Mesa?
I'm not too worried about, and I know and like Bill, and he talked with me after the game about a variety of things. It's a fact that we don't have 11 national championship banners up there, and we're not a household name with people, and yet, in modern basketball, in today's basketball, we're relevant, and we're good, and we're ranked in the top 20, and we're proud of it, and our goal is to stay there, and we play in front of a lot of fans, and when you come into our building, there's an electricity that's not found at many places, and currently it's probably not found in the Pac-12 the way it is at our place. So we've got to not worry about that piece to it. We just have to worry about getting our team better and winning. And when you do that, people talk in good terms about what you're doing.
Coach, when you're dealing with these young men, ages 18 to 22, it's easy to develop a little bit of an ego, especially when you're winning and you're going around town and everybody's telling you how great you are. As a coach, how do you sit there and adjust to that? Is it something you're concerned with? Is it something you guys talk about as, hey, that game's behind us, we now have another game? How does it work?
We do talk about it. We talk about what you need to do to represent yourself, your program, your university, your family, and the responsibilities that go with being an athlete. And the more success you have, the more people scrutinize every move you make, and in today's world, that's pretty easy to do. So it's a responsibility. You have to act accordingly.
We're Dave and Jeff at San Diego Sports Leader Double X 1090, joined by Coach men's Aztec basketball team. Coach, what was the message at halftime? Because both teams struggled early on finding their range, but boy, coming out at the start of the second half, that was fun basketball to watch.
We talked about, to be honest with you, the good things that we had put on our board as keys to success, and the number one thing was get back. UCLA runs like crazy, and I thought we did a really good job of not giving them open, easy looks, layups, or open threes in transition. Then we talked about how we needed to tweak a little bit our zone offense to get more open shots. And our kids did a great job in the second half of doing that. And as you saw, we had all sorts of open looks, and we made them. So those were the 2 bullet points. We talked about how proud we were about how hard we were competing and what we were doing. And we will win the game if. And we said we gave them a couple things that we needed to do.
Coach, when you schedule games against teams like Syracuse and UCLA, is it one of those reasons is to get ready for the big tournament, or is it to get ready for your conference? What goes into scheduling games against what are known as powerhouses?
I try to get a blend of games that will, A, help us grow, tell us where we are, and get attention if we win. I don't want 11 games against people of that caliber. So we get games that we've scheduled some games that we say, unless we play really, really poorly, we should win. Then we have others that are a 50-50. Then we have others that we say we may not be the favorite going in, and if we win, it will draw national attention. So you try to get a blend of games, or at least that's what I attempt to do.
Aztecs men's basketball team now with a record of 6-1. We're Dave and Jeff at San Diego Sports Leader XX1090. We're joined by head basketball coach Steve Fisher. Coach, as I sat there with Josh Rosenberg and we watched the game, I was watching the veteran guys on your team, and they are so smooth, man. They're like a band. They're such a well-oiled unit. And I'm wondering, for the new guys coming in, Shepard and Poley and J.J. O'Brien, these guys, how tough is it on both sides, for the new player, for the veterans, to find that same rhythm and work those guys in?
Well, the truly new players are the freshmen. And the 2 freshmen that we're playing, Skyler and Winston, are learning, adapting, and fitting in. J.J. and Dwayne practiced with us last year. It is an adjustment when you haven't played, but they've both played games at the major college level, so it's not quite as stark a change of reality for them. But I think, if you're talented, if you want to win, then you say, okay, what do they want me to do? What are my strengths? How can I play to them? And it's a process. We are at the early stages of a very long season. And I expect all our guys, all of them, whether they're the freshmen, the transfers, or our veteran seniors like Chase Tapley, to grow and get better as the season moves on. That's part of the educational process that we go through, and every parent wants their son or daughter to go through when they go into college.
Coach Steve Fisher joins us. Hey, Coach, final question for you. I read the transcript from your press conference after the game on Monday night. You said you felt like your team lost a little bit of an edge in the second half in the game with Texas Southern. And I was just wondering, for you, Brian, Mark, how much of a concern was that after the emotion of Saturday night, that big crowd coming home against an unranked Texas Southern team? How concerned were you about a drop-off in emotion, and what did you think of your team's overall performance?
We talk about that, and we talked specifically about expectations of our own. And if we wanted to be of championship cloth and caliber, you have to motivate yourself. I have a thought of the day every day, and one of them is, don't make me coach effort. I'm not a drill sergeant or a gym teacher that yells, play harder. That I shouldn't have to do that. They have to prepare. They have to come out emotionally and mentally ready to play. And if you start to get ready when you run out on the court 5 minutes before the game, you're not doing your job. We talk about all that. It's natural that there's going to be, no matter what you say, a bit of a letdown. But the more you talk about it, I think the more the antenna goes up. Don't let that happen to me. Texas Southern is a very athletic, explosive team. We saw that. We've seen that on tape that we watched. I did think at halftime we were 18 points ahead, that we lost our edge just enough to allow them to make a run. But teams make runs anyway. 18, 20-point leads, they are overcome in 2 minutes in today's world of basketball. So part of it is they got hot and made shots that they were missing in the first half, but a part of it also was that I think we weren't quite as alert. We didn't chase their shooters quite as hard, and it led to, they're playing better than us in the second half.
Before I let you go, do you have a go-to leader on that team, or is it what I think it is, where they all police themselves?
I believe that our older guys set the tenor for how we practice, how we prepare, and, those older guys are Chase Tapley, who's been a 4-year starter, James Rahan, who's a 5th-year senior, and Jamal Franklin, who's the guy that's getting most of the attention and recognition. Those are our 3 guys that we expect. And you can throw Xavier Thames in that mix. So I'm getting through more than 1 or 2. So it's a lot of the guys, and you lead in your own way. Some are vocal, some are, watch and, fit and fall into place.
They're a fun unit to watch, Coach. I tell you what, that was as much fun Saturday night to be up there in that building for any of us that were there, part of that 17,000 in Honda Center, to see those guys step up on the big stage, perform against a program like UCLA. A lot of fun. Coach Dave and I always thank you for the time. Best of luck tomorrow night against UC Santa Barbara.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it, and we need to get a big crowd out there cheering for us. We've always had great games against the Gauchos, and Bob Williams does a terrific job, and I'm sure it'll be a really good game tomorrow night.
Oh, going to be fun. Coach. Man, that Aztec team's fun. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.